It doesn't really make sense, but I wanted to tell you anyway. Joe, Joey, and Steve wanted to pick me up. Pick me up so we could go to Mattatuck, to the high school maybe. I forget. I was hungry and I wanted pizza, so we went and got some. After we finished eating, we went behind the shopping center. It connects to the cemetery. For some reason, I wanted to show Steve my brother's grave. I don't know why. There were some people from Mattatuck there, but then they multiplied or something, because it was like the whole town was there, and my friends and people from the library and school. I couldn't find it. There were new graves where his used to be. And I found Christy, and she looked so beautiful, except there were two of her, and I couldn't tell which one was real. I ran all over. I needed to find him, but I was so lost, until I went in the other direction, towards the road, and there the grass became the sand of the beach. I found my mother there, my family, well, my sister at least. Someone had moved the grave really close, right next to the water. But my mom, she wasn't upset. She was busy putting a TV on top of a little rotten draw that was uncentered on top of the stone. The stone wasn't the same now. Then she looked up at me, and she asked me, "Is this all right?" And I said, "No, it's not." She talked more about how those little trinkets of things we had put next to the stone were now broken, and that the rocks from the beach were mixed in with them, and she was playing with them all in her hands. And yeah, my sister, she told me that all the bones were broken now. I started crying and I said how terrible it was that they moved it. But my mom was trying to be nice, and she said something like, "It's better now like this, because we can be at the beach at the same time."
This way we could be at the beach at the same time. Boy, let's look how this is this week.
But I knew that there would always be other people at the beach, and that's why they were all there now, so I cried and I said, "Maybe I want to be alone here." And I crawled towards the water, and the sand and rocks changed and became an ugly floral pattern wallpaper, one you might find in your grandparents' house. But I just kept going and going. I really wanted to go under, but it was too shallow, and it never got deep, and I just lied there for a while on my back. Even though I was freezing, it was better. When I went back out, I picked up a little cellophane baggie. It had seeds and other stuff in it, and I think it was meant so we could grow grass there. But it was so small it was pointless. And there were little dead worms in it when I opened it. And then I was in this weird dark house, and one of the little worms crawled through a hole in the bag, and it crawled out and onto my stomach. And it grew really thick, like as thick as my pinky. And then it went inside of me, and I was so scared. And more came in through my belly button, and it got all bloody, and I had to keep my hands hard on my stomach to keep them from growing inside of me. And I could see them growing, and they looked like the scars that my mommy has on her belly. They just kept coming. I needed help, and I ran to my mommy. She was going to take me to the hospital, but it was really dark and really rainy, and we crashed her new car, the new car that she got from Nellie. And I started craving cigarettes, but I couldn't take my hands off of my stomach, so my mom held it for me until she ran away. No one would give me a ride. They were all mean and busy, and some of them were so crazy. This one girl, she closed the door on the little boy's hands in the back of the seat, and I got stuck in the window. The fingers went falling off, and I could see his facial expression. But then two girls picked me up, and I had to touch them for a ride. And then I ended up in the same house as before, except it became my house. But someone was chasing me. I didn't know where to go. I ran up the stairs, and then I was in my room, and I lied down, and I screamed, and I cried, and then I was just quiet, and holding my stomach.